Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, good morning, good morning. So I wanted to do the voiceovers yesterday. Really wanted to do the voiceovers yesterday. But one of our rhinos I had to spend some time with yesterday. And not with him, but preparing something for him. Because there is an individual that we have been having conversations, and they're going in the right direction, right? And nothing's ever guaranteed in life. It's funny because, like, say for instance, you said to me, "Hey, Aunt, I have a friend. You don't know him. He doesn't know you, but he's looking for a good investment. Can you put together a presentation for that person?" I would spend hours, maybe even a whole week, putting that thing together for that person because what because it would be twofold. One, I want to make sure that I'm able to present everything so that they can get a full glimpse of it. But at the same time, you want to show the respect that how much time you put forward because you're not just a man at the corner in a phone booth with a roll of dimes, right? Like you're thoughtful. It's meaningful. What you put forward shows that you're not just asking someone for money. You have a full plan, a full business, worst case scenario, best case scenario, what our metrics are, what our expectations are, so that they could actually see it and say, this is very well thought out. And in fact, I could track it day to day because it's that itemized, that thoughtful. And I would do it. Conversely, when it's somebody that's already in RHINO that you're talking to, you don't actually think of doing that. It's almost like when you ask a girl out on a date, you're buying flowers, you're holding the door, you're going to a super, super nice French restaurant. But then after you're married for like 10 years, you're like, hey, yeah, let's just order Chinese food. I don't have any money. You want to pay? Thanks. And it's not to say that that's a bad thing, but I think what you would find is that in any long term relationship, the thing that someone misses, and not misses to the point that they would ever end it, but just the little things where they're like, I wish you still courted me. I wish you still made me feel special. Like, of course you do. We live in a house, we have kids and all the rest. But you haven't bought me flowers in like 20 years. And I think that stuff matters. I think I think as investment goes, everyone deserves that same respect. So although this individual knows everything about everything, I wanted to do that. So I spent like 5, 6 hours yesterday putting together like a 15-page. This is where we are. This is next steps. This is the commentary on this, on this, on this, on this. Worst case scenarios, structure of the deal, all of the stuff. And the reason I did that, outside of the reasons I just shared with you, is that I know from the stewardship of RHINO perspective and just personally that whether that person says yes or no, I have no regrets. I'm not going to think to myself if the person said no, oh my God, you know what? I can't believe I was just so busy. I should have done this, this, and this. And conversely, let's say the person says yes, but they're not as committed as they should be, right? Like after a month or two, now I don't really know how I feel about this. That happens in real life too. And that's also a consequence of you did things too fast, right? Like you got married after having one date. There's no skin in the game. By the third or fourth month, everyone's kind of like, ooh, I really didn't think that through too well. So the points being, whatever happens now is in God's hands. But from a RHINO perspective, we're exactly where we want to be with that. And I have good feelings about that. But that's what I was doing yesterday, which means the page is still on a friends and family type of pricing, which will be done by today, 7:30. I don't care. It's not that I don't want to give it out. I would be mad at me if I was the other person saying, "Aunt, I rushed to it. You said it was going to be done by a certain date, and I upheld my end of it to make sure that I was there for it. Now you're just letting it run, and you're making me feel silly." That's actually bothering me a lot. So I can't continue doing that. But I have to do the voiceovers today. So what will be done is the voiceovers on all those videos. The affiliate program will be built out. We need to have a area for you to sign up for it, obviously. Then we need to have email sequences sent to you. We need to set up the webinar events so that we can have the daily calls. What do those look like? What time every morning will you get an email that is going to be from me that is quantifying the day before? Because we send out 10,000 emails every day. Well, no, we have 10,000 email opens every day. So we know how long the person's on the page, where did they click, what copy did better than others, because our email list is the same people, more so, right? So some people join, whatever, but the vast majority is the same people. So if one email has like a 50% open and one has a 35% open, well, we could reasonably conclude that subject line was really, really good. If one email has a 15% click rate and one email has a 7% click rate, we could conclude that call to action was really, really good. And it's this type of quantifiable data that we're going to synthesize and put together and send it out to you every morning. So that end with direction, hey, this is what we see working. This is the copy we suggest. This is the email we suggest for you to do. This is the page it's going to go to. This is your next steps. Copy and paste the email, copy and paste your recipients, press send, done. And I believe, as simple as that sounds from your end, and of course, we're doing the work. And by doing the work, you have to spend a whole lifetime to build up an email list that has 10,000 email opens a day. So the data that we get from that is not, it's not like, oh, you spent a minute looking at data. No, I also spent like 5 years every single day of every single second to get to the position that I could spend a minute looking at data. It's kind of like Usain Bolt, right? He spent 20 years of training so that he could run for 9 seconds. It's a very I hope that makes sense. But then when I'm able to share that with you and give you the directions where you just sent it out, now you're in a position for success. So what time is that email going to be to you? I don't know. I gotta, put it together. In which case, what time will our call be during the day? And our call, how is it going to be structured? We don't want to have calls like this. I love you guys, and I hope you guys like me. But these calls have simply been, all right, what's going on today? There's structure that's coming to RHINO, and that's probably going to be as quickly as tomorrow, where those affiliate calls will be like, okay, the first 5 minutes is this, the next 10 minutes is this, the next 10 minutes is this, blah, 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 blah. I want that done. So that's going to be done today. In terms of these calls, I've had recommendation to kind of move it to 11 because we do have to, not that we have to move the time, but we're very open to moving the time because now we're pursuing the launch of RHINO Friend. So we're going to be welcoming everyone to these calls, which we do, but we don't really make it known. Like, how many emails do you get where I'm like, make sure you get on the call tomorrow, here's the link? I don't. If you have the link, you do. But now it's going to be a call to action. I'll see you tomorrow. So I would like to have a couple of hundred on these calls. Well, a couple hundred more than we have. And those calls are going to have a purpose. We're going to want to get people to sign up. So what do those calls look like? What's the structure of those calls? Where are the replays? What time are the replays? How can you share the replays? How does it benefit you? Can you be an affiliate to the replays? Can you send? These are things I have to do too. So that's that. The form for RHINO businesses. So those that did sign for RHINO business, obviously you're going to now have a form where you put in your business name, the address, because again, it's going to be on RHINO Street and we have maps and everything all over the place. What are your top 3 products? What makes them different? A little bit about you. Why do people like being your customer? Stuff like that. In which case, then we're going to use that to populate the websites. Now, this is going to be a little difficult because we have to automate that. And it's not automated yet. It's going to be completely manual. It will be automated by November, hopefully. Because it's a closed platform. We said from the beginning, these websites are not going to be your websites. They're not going to your links. They're going to rhinofriend.com/Keelan, rhinofriends.com/Kent, right? rhinofriend.com/Leon. That's where your business is going to live. It's going to live on RHINO Friend. We wanted to do where we can buy the sites and then we could give them to you, but that cost a lot of money. It was like $60 a pop, $6 a pop per month, which is a cost that we find very silly to pass along. In which case you would have complete control of your site. That sounds like a good idea. I think everyone wants control of their site. But then when you think about it, what do you really need control of your site for? Like past the, Anthony, it's my site. Like, I don't need to have this conversation. Get past that. What do you really need control of your site for? If you have only 3 products, and again, you can have as many products you want, but these sites are only going to have your top 3, and you have your description of those 3 products, you have your resume is not going to change. It's what you did in your life. You have a picture. It's your merchant links, right? Like, you own those. Any links go to your accounts and all the rest of it. And I say this as a thinking experiment because I had to solve a problem. The problem being, how do I have a closed platform where we can control people's websites so that there is no bad actors? We can't have people switching links all over the place. RHINO Friend's going to be a big platform. We can't have you getting a website then switching the link out to some crypto scam that goes somewhere else or some child trafficking ring. It just can't happen. So we need to have a control of the websites. but it has to be with respect. I can't, okay, hey, this is everything you worked in your life. Now let me take it and you sit back and just, trust that I do a good job. So there has to be interaction. And what we've come down to is that there'll be two ways that you could change your sites. One, there'll be submit the changes you would like by this day every month, and they will be done within 48 hours. Now, like I said, these are things that need to be automated because it's going to be ubiquitous. If you want to change a picture, I don't think we need a human to do that. This person wants to change picture. Take this picture, make this picture. Like that's Zapier, like that's code stuff. Or it's urgent. Anthony, I'm out of stock of that. I need to change it now. In which case you'll have that option as well. There'll be a different link. And that link will go directly to me, urgent fire. It's going to be done. Assuming what I just said actually works, right? Because there's a lot of human in what I just said until we get to the automations, but let's assume that works. Then is there anything I'm missing? Is there other things for a website that you're not getting, right? Like if all the links go to your accounts, all the signups, all the everythings go to your stuff, then it's really just like a placeholder, like your site instead of on like ABCD is on Rhino. In which case we can then vouch to the world, no. If you go to a Rhino friend site, we vouch for it. And then we could even guarantee your sales. Like if someone says, hey, I want a refund. I want this, I want that. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I could look at it that second. I'm going to know what it is. Meaning we're also your friend, right? Like we're going to back you. And because you're on the platform that we have direct control over, we can then say, all right, if it's Fred's Basketball Business.com or it's Rhino Friend Mark, we can say, well, we would tell you to go with Mark's business. We don't know Fred's Basketballs.com. This could be, who is that? It could be a complete scam. But we know RhinoFriend./Mark is someone that we stand behind. And if you have any problem with him, we'll guarantee the sale or we'll guarantee the refund. Like on Amazon, when you buy something, they have a great refund policy because they know that they could guarantee it because there's so many merchants on Amazon that if you buy a basketball and you don't like it, it wasn't the product you wanted, you go through Amazon and say you want your refund. They give it to you right away. Then Amazon goes to that basketball company and says, hey, listen, bozo, tell me what happened. And if that bozo did something of a bad actor, Amazon says, are you kidding me? Get out of here. Goodbye. Now, what happened? That bad actor is in a bad position now because he just went from being on the biggest marketplace in the world to now being back to like doing Facebook ads. So the totality of the size of what we're talking about with the ability for us to guarantee the quality, the experience, like we're making sure that that's okay, ends up actually creating something that becomes so valuable that people don't want to leave it, which then reinforces as a self-fulfilling prophecy that everyone on it does become a good actor by default. So it's like a lot of psych stuff. Like this is going to lead the person to do this. So I'm saying it out loud because this is the steps that are next. So you'll have that form in the email. Hey, this is the form to do your business inputs. Once you do that, two things will happen. Your business inputs will populate Rhino Street immediately, so you could search yourself. Now on Rhino Street, it's always 20 miles. On Rhino Friend, it's global, but Rhino Street is always going to be 20 miles. So, just know that. And then secondly, those inputs go to base code 1 of Rhino Friend, so that when Rhino Friend's live, anyone that signs up for Rhino Business, that immediate second is now in the pool of business that is going to be recommended to anyone globally that's holding Rhino Friend. So the second you sign up, you now have access to millions of people. Now, of course, not millions right now, right? But when we get there, you have that access immediately. And of course, to have access to 1 million people, the price is going to be a little different than it is today. I also got questions about, Anthony, I have 2 businesses. Do I need 2 Rhino Friends? Yes. Well, you need 2 Rhino businesses because they're going to be completely separate. They're going to go into the thing as separate entities. Remember, your Rhino Friend is your Rhino Friend. That's it. But if you want 2 businesses in the pool of businesses, you have to sign up for 2 Rhino businesses. So if someone didn't know that, you now know it, and you should take advantage of it now at the pricing where it is right now. And if you're not signed up, just do it. Like, enough. It sounded kind of rude, but I really didn't mean it that way. I know what we're building. So that's that. So that'll be out tonight. I'm guiding that the process and the rollout will be a little bit manual over the next month, month and a half. The immediate proclivity will be to get that automated immediately, because once RHINO Friends coding and everything is done, and once the automations and sequences and pages are done, now it's maintenance. Well, we have upgrade cycles, but maintenance in terms of we got to monitor all the bugs, because we're going to have people say, Frida's going to say, Aunt, I did this and this happened. Kent's going to say, Aunt, I did this and this happened. Laura's going to say, Aunt, I did this. And that's a good thing. Tell me, please, all of it. In fact, I got an email yesterday from one of ours, and she's on right now, so I don't know if she wants me to say her name. But she goes, did you vigorously test this yet? I go, no, I didn't test it at all. I built it. Now, of course, I test it as I'm building it to make sure it works, but there's a live testing until you go live, which means this first rollout is the test. Nobody wants to be known as, oh, so you're testing on me. But that's the way life works. There has to be subjects. The way we compensate that is the pricing. The pricing is friends and family right now, 20, 30, 40, whatever case, even at 50. Well, guess what? After all the testing is done and all the bugs are done, and we bring on 1 million people, do you think the pricing is still going to be 50? So you ask yourself, all right, I got in at 50, there were some bugs, or I got in at 200 with no bugs. Well, I kind of really wish I, sat around for a couple of bugs. It wasn't the end of the world. Now it costs me an extra 150 per week. Remember, that price is going to go up, and it's going to be weekly, and it's going to be justified, because if we have 1 million people, or 10 million people, or 20 million people, would it behoove you if you had access to 20 million people right away, where these 20 million people on average spent 2 hours a day with RHINO Friend, averaged about 2 recommendations a day, and had an average conversion of 50%, $1,000 a month? Of course you would. And what would that equal? $240 a week? Okay, so can we raise prices to 240 if we have millions of people? Yeah. Well, how do people get on RHINO Friend? It's free. It duplicates and replicates itself. That will have millions of people, because all I need to do is give it to people. Here, it's cool, because I'm paying for it. Well, not me, but RHINO, which, if you looked at my bank account, we're paying for it, right? So I think that's everything, but everything's really, really good. I'm excited. I hope the letter I sent yesterday gets a good response. Oh, Brian, and thank you again for so Brian sent me all of the different affiliate platforms that you could put affiliate products on. So we're going to do that with RHINO Business, and who knows, maybe that kicks off. Just imagine the power of 500,000 or 1 million people having RHINO Friends. With numbers like that, you could contact chamber. We basically took Facebook plus Google and just made it better. They're free platforms. They're engaging. Anyone that's demoed RHINO Friend, and it's on the site that I gave you, every single person has said to me, Anthony, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. That demo, the reason why it's on an iPhone is because that's how it's going to be. It's going to be in your text messages. You'll be somewhere. Let me ask Ted, my RHINO friend. Hey, Ted, what's this? Oh, cool, thanks. Yeah, he gave me the answer. Yeah, you literally have the smartest friend in your pocket. All right, so I think I should go, because I should get this work done. I think that's it. All right, cool. I'll update everyone, and look out for the 7:30 email tonight. Love you all. Bye.